I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank everybody for coming out today. First order of business is election of a president. Open the floor for motions on the president. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. All right. Next up is vice president. Like to make a motion to appoint Rob Morano as vice president.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Treasurer. Ellen? Who's that? You want to do that?
Go for it, Al.
Someone else wants me to.
I'll make that one. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Hey, good one. Thanks, Stephen. Listen, you come late, you don't get anything.
Yeah. There's a seat down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna see next to Kevin. I was behind somebody, taking trees down there. All right, and secretary? Still interested?
I'll nominate Joanne.
Rather
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, did you?
No, I-
Right.
How long?
So
Yeah.
you each have the confidential evaluation and board performance that we need to fill out every year. And you also have the annual statement concerning any potential conflicts. If you could fill them out before you leave the meeting today and place them in the basket on the windowsill, it would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, we will hunt you down. All right. So on the committees. Complete that. So we have the executive committee. Current individuals on the executive committee are myself, Tony, Ellen, James Schmidt, who is no longer with us. Kathy, you want to be on the executive committee?
I'm not at this time, but.
Lori? Love to have somebody from Dutchess.
Sure.
All right, so we'll put Lori in. Warren?
Yes.
Yay.
I wasn't asking actually.
Yes.
Good.
I'm good.
All right, so we have the current to add, put in the resolutions with the, addition of Lori Taylor from the Village of Pauling. Can I get a motion on that? We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, governance committee. Currently Warren, Michael and Nick. Nick's not here, so he's on. Anyone else? Warren will stay on,
Yes, sir.
and Mike, you're good.
It's really fun. We go out to the park a lot.
I heard.
What else do we have three?
You have to read these things.
All right, so we have a resolution for the governance committee, which will be Warren Lucas, Michael Jerry, and Nick Durante. Somebody like to introduce that?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Audit committee is Tony? Yep. We good?
I'm good.
Robert?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, and Lori? Good?
Yeah.
All right, we have the resolution with those individuals. Somebody like to introduce that?
I will.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
All right, finance committee is Warren, Ellen, and Jackie and Ovid. Jackie is no longer with us, so we need a volunteer for the.
Now, this one's a really lot of fun.
You already get emails from me once a month.
Yes.
Is that the second bar attendance?
Yeah.
What?
Is that the second bar?
That's what we don't do bars.
Right.
He sends stuff out occasionally, we review it and tell him he's 100% correct or otherwise.
And you get to see the budget before anyone else.
We
That's
get
about it.
you get to see the budget.
Somebody like to volunteer for the finance committee? Jamie? Great.
Oh.
Yay. All right, with those individuals, can we get a motion on the? So moved. We have a second?
Second.
All right, technical committee. Is Ed, where's
You're
Ed?
doing all.
Yeah.
There you are. Oh.
We need it all in
All
favor.
in favor.
We
need a-
didn't vote on it.
Oh, all in favor? Just moving right along.
You're fast.
Ed, Sabrina, Rich Franzetti, he's not here, so he's designated anyway, and Dan. Dan's good?
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah. We get a motion on the technical committee?
moved.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, financial institutions, we have a resolution. Everybody read the resolution?
Are we changing anything?
Excuse me?
Are we changing anything on the banks? Is the banks?
No, we're not changing anything.
Are we getting a good rate?
Yeah, we're getting a really good rate. Yep.
Yep. They pay on all their accounts, whether it's from the savings to the checking account, we're getting a above market, money market rate.
Very good.
We're happy.
All right, somebody like to introduce the resolution?
Make that motion.
They blend it. I can't see, let's see, this, what is this?
Thank you.
Joe Redding.
Write it down.
You're on, Jeff.
We could just disconnect. Yeah, I think he's.
Okay.
If you, just out of curiosity, if you guys looked into NY class with this stuff, because they also very.
Yeah, you know, what's interesting is some of the banks you mentioned that they've been giving us very good rates here. I don't, what's in my class right now? We can't afford it.
I think it might be higher. I'd have to look, but you know. We moved to them and they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say maybe talk to Janelle.
So I can tell you, we have not looked at it, but we can. Okay.
You can set up switches and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Keith,
we got-
did you ever talk to them about whether your entity was eligible? Because you're not a municipality, right?
I think that was the issue, and now, I think we did check on that, and we are not. We are not technically a municipality.
No.
Well, we can double check that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We vote on this? Do we have a?
We didn't, and I guess, and you could always change.
We can.
Right, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, readoption of our code of ethics. We have a resolution on the code of ethics. Somebody like to introduce the resolution?
So moved.
We have a second? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Readoption of the mission statement,
Second.
all in favor? Readoption of the procurement policy. Ed, I was waiting for you to
So moved.
jumping in.
Are the numbers any higher than this now, or are they any higher by EMS? Or are they the max? That's the only question I have. No.
For the ethics?
Yeah, no.
Procurement.
For the procurement.
Procurement policy.
Sorry, I should get my packet here.
I think they're the old numbers.
We're the old numbers.
They're the old numbers.
Well, it doesn't, I'm looking at it, I don't see a number.
Oh, it's on.
Guideline three.
Guideline 3 and guideline 4.
Okay, so can we change the policy anytime, or is that the? I mean, there's no
We do it
reason-
now.
Yeah, we can do it now.
I don't know what the new numbers are, so
Give me a second.
it's like 30,000, I think these are the new numbers.
35.
Yeah, it's 35 for contracts and either 20 or 25 for supplies, materials and stuff, so that's good.
Are you okay with that?
It should be higher. Yeah, I'm fine with that, that was the only question.
All right. Somebody like to introduce the resolution for the adoption of the procurement policy? So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
She didn't look at numbers.
I'm glad Ed showed up.
No, he was, listen, he was okay with the numbers in the resolution. We ran when we had the ball. All right, we have a resolution for readoption of the sexual harassment policy.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. The resolution to approve the banking signatories. Who is the designated board member now?
Lori Fallon.
Will it stay there? All right, so we have the resolution. It would be myself, the treasurer, vice president, Rob, and Lori.
So moved.
All in favor? Any other business at this time?
That was the bank signature.
Yep,
So I don't know, you have to change it in the bank. Am I still on?
you are not.
You're not, the bank still considers you a signatory, but you're not as far as the.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're
So
not.
there's only somebody's updating the bank.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a change.
We didn't change anything.
No, I know, but I even though I was still on, I don't know if all these four people are.
Yeah.
As long as they are.
Any other business? All right, motion to adjourn, just don't all run away.
So moved.
All in favor? All right, here's the next time.
Much better than I did.
Move right around.
Oh, yeah.
Did an organizational meeting?
Yes.
12 minutes, yes.
I did 2 minutes.
With two board members. It's all in the preparation. 65 items.
I have 9. So did you do like a chunk of one before vote?
Oh, they have.
Over here though, we need one here.
Red.
We need red.
You have one.
Take a physical notes?
I know it's not working. Everybody wants. If there's no internet, I think that's why. Yeah.
If you're on, I think it's on, it's great, it works, right? But I hang up here.
Like, I live in a desert on Saturdays.
Sign-in sheet. Sign-in sheet. Who has the sign-in sheet?
Thank
There it is.
you. Linda, we need the non-member sign sheet too. Yes, I have that.
Yeah, we can find that. Benny, come find me after the meeting, please, and I'll make sure that you have a non-member sign the sheet.
Okay.
Sign me in too.
Sounds somewhat threatening, but.
Hey, great.
That's why I'm not gonna sign. This is for. Thank you for. No, I think I will. Did you really get a non-member sign in, has anyone had?
No, never.
That's not it.
Kevin's holding everything.
Just organization.
Yeah, right. Otherwise, it's gonna get lost in someone's spots.
Now, on top of this, everybody's gonna do that county,
Yes.
Yeah.
the email will come from somebody.
Yes, we should be getting an
Putnam
email.
County, mid-February.
Yeah. I'm exactly.
Oh, I can bring that up later.
I'll actually talk about it, it's a list of.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, Vivi?
Supervisors.
Talk as much as usual, they were actually good.
Yes.
But it was very theatrical, they're up there like hugging each other and high five, like, that's pretty.
The one that surprised me was Mike Bartolini. I didn't think he was gonna talk this long as he does.
He never talks much,
No, he never does. But all of a sudden last night, he got us.
because he got this, on them groups all the time, he used to do, and it was always quick things. To the point where.
All right, I'd like to call the quarterly meeting of the directors and members to order. We have the October 7th minutes that need to be approved. Everybody reviewed them?
Yeah.
So can I get a motion on the minutes?
Motion for the minutes.
Second. Okay. Any opposed? All in favor? Opposed? Keith.
All right, financials that are in the package are still as of November 30th, we're still working on December, so. As of November 30th, we have $12,304,000 in cash, of which $9,942,000 is related to the bad money. We have $2,361,000 in Soul and the water quality equip funds. And we have total outstanding commitments, and I didn't write that on that page, of $1,865,000. That's it for that part. The next one.
You know, touch a little bit on the last page. The interest.
Just, we've, for the bank interest on banking accounts, we are still making more money than we did last year. And last year was like multiple times higher than the previous years because we did switch financial institutions. I keep predicting that we're gonna not earn any more interest in bank things, because as we spend the money down, we're not gonna be getting replacements for us to sit on and hold. It's gonna be being, money will come in and be used, so. That 300, it'll be over 309,000, it'll probably be like close to 350 for the year. That'd probably be our high water mark for interest income. Now,
You're gonna talk about the insurance?
New York City appreciate this.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're making a lot of money for that. Okay, the pages are reversed, and or out of your packet, but we have the insurance renewal for the professional indemnity insurance. We put it out with our broker. We had the only major change in the policy. To reduce the amount of retention. It was $25,000. It's going to reduce to $10,000 because the board requested after last year. And that policy is actually $10 a year, or $10 for the 3 years cheaper than it was in the last one. We're considered to be at their lowest premium level. And I believe the resolution was passed by the executive committee at the November meeting to move it forward to the board for approval.
It was. Any questions on our insurance? I'm willing to make a motion to approve our insurance policy.
So moved.
And second,
Second.
all in favor?
Alright. And then the next item is just a matrix that shows all of the insurance that the corporation carries for the business income, the business policy, professional liability, directors and officers, liability, workers' comp, and required disability and work.
The only thing, we got hurt a long time ago, like 30 years ago, we just started aggregating for the year, it's not mine. What's our likelihood of receiving 4 million aggregates? It looks, I mean, we have 2 million each of funds for general liability. The aggregate is 4, right? I mean, that, right?
Yes. Or as
I mean, I guess I'd ask Kevin, I don't know what our liability would be, that's 2 big problems in a year worth.
Pretty low liability.
Well, what we may think about in the future is to because the insurance will easily,
Are you referring to the,
general liability.
Vales Grove? Concern?
No, just,
Oh, okay.
in general. Well, one of them we ended up forking over cash, right?
Right.
But,
Because our deductible, so.
yeah, so that's the deductible, but our general liability is too low, which is fine. But in aggregate, I'm assuming that's any one year in aggregate, it's 4 million. If I'm reading this correct. So, I don't know if that's an issue.
I don't believe that was with the, where we're at, and then the project selection should limit any possible liabilities to the best of it.
And most of our projects are below $2 million.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, no, that
Well,
was
the damage.
damage to other properties or something like that when we got down with it. So I would just suggest maybe next year when we talk about it, just ask if any changes there that a reasonable person would make, or maybe our legal team could give us some insight on whether that's good.
Certainly, with the pollution policy doesn't come due for this policy is for 3 years, so that one won't come due. Again, but they get, oh, of course. All of our contractors have their own insurance. This is just above that.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Linda, you want to talk about 40 days?
So we're starting with a new list of compliance and reporting dates today. I'll start by addressing the first 2 items on that list. They apply to new board members only, so a blue folder was distributed today to the town of Pauling, and we also have another new member in Putnam Valley. And that contains the fiduciary acknowledgement form, which can be completed today and left in that basket if you do have time. And then it also contains information on how to sign up for the New York State ADO board member training. So there's a link in there, and I can also send you information. And then the 2025 O&M documentation that was due on the 31st of December. We still haven't received everything, but Kevin will be more specific when we get to that item further down the list. So on the reverse side of this, we have the, it contains the New York State authorities and budget office compliance schedule, and each year all board members are required to complete the conflict of interest form, which we ask is filled out and left in the basket there today, and also the board evaluation. And in February, everyone will receive a link, maybe from New York, maybe from Putnam County, for the financial disclosure, which is due by May 15th. And lastly, we ask that all board members, with the exception of those that are new, complete those 2 things and put them in there, or I'll have to hunt you down for them. So that's it.
And just one correction on my email address, it should be lewisboro.ny. I've got to change that. Just so that.
Yeah, mine should be.
Yeah, we have that change as well.
Yeah.
With it's
I've got that as well.
.gov.
For Somers as well. Then go to Salem. Oh.
Then go-
Newcastle, you have to add NY.
NY.
New York Times. .gov.
It is.
I was just gonna email her, new email so that she, with me. We're told just to tap her.
We share, just, but email that anyway with all of our.
Give it to me.
I changed the .gov for.
Oh,
you did it. Ours changed the entire thing.
Somers and all.
We wrote the whole thing.
Some towns had to.
Oh, you had to? I mean,
I was saying some, because of the domain was given.
I don't even know.
This Carl.
We should just change the name from Harlem. Change it to Patterson with One change there.
Yeah, right?
Mike is there. Yeah.
Well, on a completely side note, I got a package delivered to us. It was supposed to go to Patterson, Illinois. Wow. And UPS just screwed these jams.
Oh, if it was work.
No, I called the company, got a new mailing address, and we're gonna try to go.
It was anthrax. It was anything.
All right, moving on. We have an agenda, we have meeting dates for 2026. Everybody reviewed them? Any conflicts, any questions? If any arise, please email the staff and let them know at your earliest convenience. Can we get a motion to approve the meeting dates?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bring this down to Kevin.
So we are currently sitting at approximately 796 kilograms. With a chunk of projects to bring this up pretty close to 990, I'm sorry, 890 approximately. The open projects that we have. I apologize, I should have uploaded the estimated construction window for these, but they will be going out to finish design or construction for spring, summer, winter 26. Fully expect to wrap these projects up in anticipation and hope that we will be able to begin work on the new set of projects for the 5-year program. But we continue to push ahead with what we do have. As always, the project summary reflects all projects that are in either the municipality or your neighbors. As I said, it's approximately 796, and we should be able to hit that or pretty close to right on the dot. Our end goal being 919 kilograms per year. The next 5-year term has a goal of 460 kilograms. We are already in I think we could start in year 3 of the new permit for the 460 kilograms. So we got a lot of it done in 2 years for that number. As you can imagine, you should not anticipate that we'll be meeting that goal. So once we are able to begin work on projects for years 11 and 15, we'll hit the ground running as best we can, but conversations should be had with the DEC to let them know that although we'll show progress, that compliance likely is not going to be there within the 5-year term as requested by the DEC. That's for the future, but as I said, once we have the funding to move forward, ready, willing, and able to get it going. Any questions for the program?
All right. I got some updates on funding. Hey, got any good news for us?
No, I couldn't. We start by, apologizing for that, something that is there already. I never in my wildest imagination thinking that we would be here by the end of the year. Let me just say, city's a big entity, there's a lot of places to hit snags. When we initially submitted these contracts associated with the PC collective, about 4 or 5 contracts, there was an issue identified with the funding certificate was initially set up, so we had to work through that issue. And when the contract went to B, there was a lot of back and forth trying to educate with B as to how these contracts work. It's a strange arrangement, somewhat that it's a reimbursement contract with the state. So the EPA is going to fund the money. There were a lot of questions on on how that works, and then which cost of money that we could pull from to fulfill that. So we worked through those issues. So given those 2 issues that they have been worked out, I think we're on a more typical city contracting path at this point. I'm reluctant to give estimates on when the funding might come. We can do it anyway with the caveat that I can't be sure that that's the number yet, because I'm seeing at this point around the May time frame. So we should have decent funds around that time.
The contract that we have with you, we come up with estimated any date at all when this will be done?
I'm sorry, which contract?
Well, whatever we have, saying you're gonna give us the money.
So this is for the 10 million.
Yeah, I understand, but
Yeah, no, I-
that's C, whatever the.
I mean, we negotiated the contract, we submitted it, like I said, as we submitted it, we assumed that was gonna be registered in the fall. That was our kind of initial estimate, like I said, we hit a couple of snags along the way, so it's an enormous entity, there's a lot of places you can hit snags. I just want you to know, like myself and Mike and his supervisor, John Schwartz, our budget people, Kim and Tanya, and our bureau contracting chief Nick, I mean, we have been pushing this
Appreciate
to
it.
the extent that we can internally.
We've been trying to get it all set up so we know we need the Fed money back, but I think we're gonna forget that too.
Well, what? No, we're not.
That
That was my next issue is, listen, given all the delays, you see where we are.
Yes,
Can
we're
we,
talking about the Fed rollover.
yeah, can we please start talking about a contract for the pad rollover?
I mean, you have a commitment in writing from us for that money. I don't really have any information.
Sign it and send it back and say thank you.
Yeah. Right now, our priority is registering the 10 million.
I agree.
I don't really have a great understanding of why we can't begin the negotiation, other than my guess would be that there is an issue of bandwidth within the Bureau itself. And, this is
So
not
I need
the
to push
only.
it up, I need to push it up over your head.
I mean, you take whatever actions you feel you need to take. I mean, this has been elevated. People are aware.
Is it the
I have no
DEP or outside of the
information.
DEP? It's New York City finance in general, it's that little problems.
With the rollover contract?
Well,
Well, I mean, with the rollover contract,
everything.
no, I mean, the rollover contract would start with, our bureaus and DEP. So I don't think, finance would do anything for you. I really don't have any great information on when.
Maybe we can have a conversation after the meeting.
Yeah,
take the letter of acknowledgement, sign it, send it back, say thank you.
yeah, I mean, the best I can do is say you have the commitment for funding.
What are they gonna do to us? By the time they figure out how to get to us, it'll be another 5 years. So just start spending the money. Then you go back and tell
I
them.
want to find out what they're gonna do. So.
It's gotta live on the edge.
I think it's 6 or 7, so maybe I will hear that.
You are on the record.
So, and I will say this, the new water supply permit is out. We did petition the DEC to, help assist the corporation in that water supply permit. Unless I'm misreading it, I didn't see any good news in the new water withdrawal permit.
Water withdrawal permit was essentially just issued as a continuation of previous conditions.
They changed the dates.
It's pretty much, yeah.
That was it. So,
Give us more permit.
what do you want to know about the MS4 permit?
No, I was gonna say they
Or
didn't change
two.
that at all.
Soon.
Same one for 10 years ago.
Is there anything new coming out of Westchester?
We're just waiting for Putnam so that we can move forward. I mean, then once that happens, there's gonna be legal stuff that needs to occur. But,
What are you waiting on from
when the letter agreement needs to be signed, or it's the county clerk.
Yeah.
Is that Kevin Burke? Where is?
Well, it's with the attorney.
I met last week with Bernard, we met about it. This was certainly one of them expressed to the board, if this board is concerned with the delay of the contract. He promised to make it a top agenda item with the legal department. Maybe just have a weekly meeting, and I said I need to see it top of the list.
I appreciate that, Ian.
And he agreed. He doesn't like the way it's dragging out in there.
Okay, so we'll hear soon then.
Let me know.
Yeah, no, I don't like coming here working the same thing you, so.
And then those agreements from Westchester and Putnam have to go through the same process with DEP or no?
They get
There's a-
approval.
They have to be signed by
Well,
DEP.
It's like, when we started this whole thing back in 2012, there was a separate letter of agreement, that kind of, outlined the arrangement of how the money can be spent. It sort of put guide rails on how the money can be spent, and it also, transfers reporting responsibilities You know, typically the way the water quality funds work is whoever gets the funds would then report back to the counties in terms of accounting and how the money was spent. There was a lot of concern that that would be cumbersome, so DEP agreed to accept the accountings rather than go through the counties straight from the corporation. So that letter of agreement not only put guide rails on how the money can be spent, but kind of codified this sort of reporting arrangement. So that needs to be re-upped because that only goes from years 1 through 10. So if you want to do that same agreement arrangement for years 11 through 15, we would need to re-up on that. We have already reviewed the language. Looks okay. I think both counties have reviewed the language. Well, I don't know about Putnam, but at least Westchester County has given us a nod that the language looks okay. What we don't have in it is the letter agreements reference the right of objection process that the county would need to go through. Westchester has already completed theirs, Putnam needs to complete theirs. We put those dates into that letter agreement, and then I would be able to take it back to, well, I think, actually, I have to look at it. I think last time the county signed it, sent it to DEP, or we might have signed it and sent it back. We gotta figure out that. But once I have that date in there, then that kind of letter agreement, you know, the right of objection is already done, letter agreement is ready to go, we can sign off on those, and then you would need to execute. Yeah, so like IMAs with the counties, have those funds flow into.
But that doesn't have to go through the whole city process.
No, that, well, we are involved in with water quality funds, so in this letter agreement.
Just has to go to the legislature.
So, yeah, the next step would be that Putnam County needs to issue a right of objection, a notice of intent that they intend to.
Yeah.
Spend funds.
So if that, how long might that take? I mean, if Putnam does it within the next month.
I can't see this going much longer, judging by the county executive's tone. I told them what was going on. I'm assuming he's going to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, typically the way that's worked with Putnam is, it goes through their board of legislators, they pass a resolution, so, you know, the decision made, and they have to notice all the MRI signatories, and there's a 15-day objection period, once that's filled. For everything.
Thank you.
All right. O&M discussion.
The deadline for submittals was on 12/31/2025. I have 5 submittals. The second year in a row. I have 5 submittals.
Do you have mine?
No.
You have more than
Your mind?
No. No.
Can you list the ones that you
I
have?
read, but he said he'd get it done before he left.
I have Lewisboro, Pauling, Somers, Carmel, Cortland. Brewster and Newcastle get off because they don't have to submit. Because they, as part of the agreements that we have in place, they're not, required to pick up maintenance on retrofits, or in the case of Northcastle, we're unable to, build them. I do not have anything from anybody else. As I brought up last year, an extension was given to everybody to give you another week to clean up the mess. I am not offering one this year. If you'd like to override that decision, you're welcome to as the board. But last year you were all notified, you have a chance to submit. This year,
The downside is we don't, it's a downside.
Get reimbursed.
you won't get reimbursed for
What happens about
for
the place that
2021. If you submit before March 31st, then we can include those bills for the next cycle run for next year. If you do not submit by March 31st, we will not accept them at all.
I'm asking a slightly different question, which is some people owe and some people get paid.
Right.
The people that owe, if they don't submit, what happens to them?
The people that maintain projects 2025 but did not submit anything will have to hold on to those, the money that would have been due to them for a whole nother calendar year. So if you previously were thinking you were gonna get a $20,000 check from the other member municipalities, you'll get one next year instead. You will not get one.
No, maybe it's a little different question. Maybe it's not. If I owe 20,000.
Right.
Do I have to pay 20,000 by the, what's the downside of me not submitting if I think I owe one? It sounds like there isn't.
The downside is going to be the next year's payment. If you owe money, is going to be significantly larger. Because if we don't have the majority of the maintenance documented and submitted to us, then those bills still occurred. All those bills will be accounted for in next year's cycle instead.
Yeah.
So if you,
So there's a benefit to
Traditionally-
if I think I'm maybe gonna get a couple of grand back.
if you
If I never,
traditionally.
if I never submit anything to you, do I ever have to pay anything?
If you never submit anything, you absolutely will have to pay, because I can't document that you did any maintenance.
I was just asking. We don't have any clout to make it with that, right?
Well, the other issue is that you're supposed to be documenting your maintenance for the permit and for the compliance with the agreements. So, you know, the reimbursement is sort of a side issue in a way. You need to document your maintenance.
I've done it, but I didn't submit it. For some reason, I have it in my head that it's for January that's due. I don't know why I have that.
We have within our sheet, it's 12/31, maintenance manual this morning to double check and make sure that I wasn't misunderstanding myself. We have January 3rd. One way or another, second year in a row, that by far the majority of you have gone past the death. So it's up to you to make a decision. I've expressed my point of view on it. Yes.
So if you were to get your. If you get our submission to buy monthly, I get wait. Right, but I also get you next year's, right, by 26 by the end of the year. But you're saying 27 would be. I'm gonna see double, right, if I was owed 10, right, let's make a number, if I was owed 10 each year, I document all that, you're gonna pay 20 then, 27?
Essentially the next accounting.
Yeah.
And reconciliation of all this is going to be double.
Okay.
You guys and carrying bills for a calendar year that go on it. Unless somebody would like to do this different.
So that's the $64 question. Do we want to give ourselves an extension?
If we're not gonna do an extension, can we consider moving the deadline date? Because as we all know, the end of the year, holidays, and you know, it's a little tricky. I know it escapes me. I don't know if I'm the only one that it escapes.
No, you're not. I mean, I thought mine was set. Not sure.
I reminded.
Check yours, well,
Well,
I'll
listen,
double check.
it's the holidays, it got crazy, but I know I did it.
Usually pretty good.
I did it too, but it hasn't been shipped here, you know, mailed, so. I'm wondering if we just move the date. It gives people a chance to. Move the date and allowing a resubmission after a year.
If we are to move the date, then December 1st is what I would say.
Oh, so move it up.
Yes, because we need to, once all this is submitted, if we get documentation from 19 municipalities, I then have to double check that you've all done it as required, that the maintenance in fact was completed as documented. But we have to meet our audit deadlines internally. I need more than 30 days, basically, to provide that audit.
So we're not moving the date. The question is whether we're gonna give ourselves an extension right now.
Well,
Kevin will probably beat me to that later, but.
I expressed my second year in a row, guys.
I would say that
Accountability.
it's
Not going for a year.
troubling for the village because with my highway guy, he says he doesn't wanna do it until all the leaves are down, and so then that's in December that he's trying to get this done, which he did it.
Yes.
So to move the date to December 1st would be very tricky for us to do. We probably wouldn't make it. And so of course it was done in December, and then with the holidays and everything, and you know, he did submit it to me, I have it. But I didn't submit it here.
On make a motion that we extend the deadline to submit for the O and M to January 15th.
I'll second, I should say. But this is the last time, how's that? That's
For real,
Yeah.
for real. Last time.
Well, and can we send,
So-
You know, I think the goal is that you have one in cash. They're gonna get outvoted all the time.
All in favor?
Mr. Supervisor, to clarify the resolution, it's for 2026, in other words.
No, it's.
No, it's for
Extended to January 15th, excuse me, extended to January 15, 2026 for the 2025 reports.
Yeah.
Okay, just should include that in the resolution.
That's what everybody's doing this afternoon.
Yeah.
Maintaining things.
All right, is that it for O and M?
can we send an email to all members if the deadline? Our deadline is January 15th. Yes, maybe a little, why that's important.
What's the date, January what?
15th. By
Sure, I wanna be here
4:30.
Yeah.
Tomorrow be warm. But Warren needs it by lunch today.
That's like a half. That's like a half, of course. I was superintendent, the previous one, board hamburger, but don't worry about it. It keeps going.
All right, so we have a resolution to authorize an amendment to the Westchester agreement. This is specifically for the O and M funds. Anybody have any questions on the resolution? We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Staff salaries, we're doing this in open session?
We do it every time, there's all we usually have a staff meeting,
Excuse me?
don't we usually have a staff?
Well, there's a question of whether we're just gonna move on this or we're gonna have a discussion and go into executive session.
The executive committee voted to move it to the board.
Correct.
Board wishes to, then we have to go to an executive session.
Correct.
We don't.
Yes, we can. And essentially what it is a 4% raise for cost of living. Anybody want to discuss individual salaries or do you want to just move this?
I think you've done in our executive board meetings, saying this is, we thought this was very reasonable, not just the salary budget. So the first time we said that. Make a motion, the budget.
I second. All in favor?
No.
That's easy. All right, last up. We have to renew the office lease for this building. Everybody had a chance to take a look at this? There was a slight increase to the monthly lease agreement. How much did it go up?
There's also the portion sharing of costs of electric and fuel oil to be included. And Keith, I don't have the number for that. Linda did some discussions on that, but I don't know what your base is in terms of what are you budgeting for that? Do you have a number, Keith?
We have the Hudson Valley Trust in the 5 years I've been here has never assessed us anything for that. So there's no budget for that.
Well, do you have an estimate?
I do not. I don't know what their total fuel cost is. They've only given us what the base that they're judging it on. It's gonna be a reconciliation from what their base to what they spent.
And what's the proportionate use? What is that proportion?
30%
Yeah, I was gonna say about 30.
is responsible.
Maybe $5,000. And we get it.
So it's 30% of the 11,000.
That's
Where do they get the oil from if I could?
wherever it's cheapest.
Well, the state bid list is where it's, should be coming off.
It's varies, different people show up from month to month.
Really?
So, I mean, it's not a problem. I just wanted you to be aware that there was an increase in the form of that utility sharing over the base cost.
Yeah, we haven't really had it before. But, because they never assessed us for that.
Well, it's not any more than $2,000 a year, if we're 30%, I mean, that's $6,000, 2,000 gallons, is just, yeah, or maybe it does.
Well, it's more than just the oil.
It's electric and oil,
Yeah.
30% of 11,000.
It's not, no, it's not, it's different, 11,000 is their base, we're responsible for. An amount that would be in excess of 11,000, so in other words, if the total fuel costs were 13,000. Then we'd be responsible for 2,000, for 30% of the $2,000 difference.
So we don't know what their use is at all.
Correct. They're just saying that for 2024, their total cost was $11,000.
So, I mean, it seems reasonable. So anything over 11 grand, it's probably not going up.
No, I don't think it's going up.
But
I don't think it's going up.
I was just interested in its life.
Vote on the resolution to renew the lease for this building.
So moved.
We have a second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any other business? Do you have any other business? Do a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
You all for coming. See you in 3 months. Yeah, we must. Yeah.
Thank you.
Not yet.
I think it just has to one.